And boom, 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 bash. That all looks good. Oh, we forgot to kick the bot. Bot check. The bot is low working. Oh, fantastimo. Okay, let's see. Oh, got a whole bunch of notifications. Oh yes, the self-closing switch box, I confirmed that was actually, well, it was actually two separate bugs that have been acknowledged on InDreams and are in their tracker, so I wasn't going totally crazy with that. Some likes and... Okay, so no one said anything or... Cool. Oh, someone shared work in progress. Huh. Let's take a peek. What have people sent? Oh, fluffy blanket. I like fluffy blankets. Cyrus! Nice little opening at him. Oh, nice. There you are, my keys. Oh, this is actually... Thank you for the host, Minjin. MGN? MJ? My brain. Find Dad and find out what he wants. So someone just sent me this. I'm actually loving their blankets and stuff. Yeah. Music's... Can I run? No, I can't run. Wow, this is actually quite complete. Yes, I used that kitchen and sink in my T-level. Awesome! Had to join me live. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. What were you doing on stream? We're going to be doing some creation stuff, and is that your voice I sometimes hear in the beta? I mean, depends where. Depends where. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Boy! Very serious father figure. Good morning, son. Finally decided to get out of bed. I had lost my keys. Haha, just like your mother. Next. Oh, no, that is, that's Lucy. That's Lucy who did the placeholders for that. Wow, this is actually quite complete. Yes, sir. Oh, good, now we can do the Naruto run. Good to know. Oh, and they've got auto jump on the puppet. Interesting. I should help my dad Cyrus before leaving. Okay, find Dad's axe. This is quite complete, I have to say. Maybe it fell down here. Well, that's irresponsible. And apparently I'm comfortable shoving an axe at my butt. Fair enough. Remember this. This is quite an involved level. Yes, it is my wife's typing in the background. It's also lovely enough to watch chat for me. There's a hole there, but I don't know if I can fit. Okay. This is quite an involved level. I can't run anymore, can I? No, I can't run. I had the run ability taken away from me. Okay, I think I am about done with this. Okay. I mean, this is really impressive. XX Major and 4 others. This is quite something. They have been working on this. It sounds like they've been working on this for quite some time. Connie's Adventure Collections. L3 was to duck. Oh, okay, I missed that. I missed that. Monsters Hideout. Wow, they've been quite prolific. Persona. Oh, wow. How much have they done? Wow. For one creator, this is a lot of uploads. Huh. That is quite impressive. Except that actually very strongly deserves a like. Wow. Okay, any other notifications I should be checking? No, that silly notification bug. Okay, let's see what the Dreamiverse has been up to, and then I've got some ideas of some bits and bobs I wanna show on stream, and some stuff that has been bouncing around my head that I want to just show how to create. The self-switching box, yeah. So the self-switching box, it does turn out that there is apparently a bug with motor bolt joints and limits, and there is also a bug with motor bolt joints or connecting 2 joints together or something. It was yeah. So apparently we ran into 2 bugs, and that's why we had the issues we had. Ooh, plain scythe. See, I find this interesting because this is someone's early creation. Of course, now the thing they've done... Oh, no, they haven't sharpened either side. Huh. Bugs, bugs, bugs. Yeah, indeed, right? Indeed. Okay, so those are 2 separate sculpts. Are they 2 separate sculpts? Yeah, there are 2 separate sculpts. Interesting. So what I would probably do here is I would do this as one sculpt, but the reason I would do that is because I would do this here, like this. And then one of the ways I'd get the wood going up a bit is I would get the stamp in. And I would put a little bit of blend in. Because remember, wood has those sort of knobs. What we actually can do is if we stretch this out a little bit, get us a bit more. Yeah, we just want a bit more of that organicness to the shape. And then I'll show you the last little bit. Oh, actually that's a bit too much. At the top here. So now whenever you make a tool like this, I will take a look, Mimjin. I will take a look and we can see. So we're going to move the scythe. Actually, are we going to move the scythe head? I don't know if we're going to move the scythe head, actually. We might just tweak up the side head a bit here. But yeah, what we're going to also do is going to come in here, shapes, get this, tools, looseness, and looseness amount. Okay, cool. Going to sharpen up some of the knobs, and you'll see why in a bit. Just some of the bulge sections. And then this bit here, we actually have to sharpen this bit here quite a bit. I think we're going to have to drop the looseness a fair amount. Okay. So now, whenever you have... I would like you to remix a sign of Supposer made for my project. It's quite good, but I'm curious what you'd change. Okay, cool. Can look at that after we've looked at MJ stuff. So what I'm going to do here is come in, going to get a stamp. Okay, now kill the looseness. Okay, because now one of the things you do when you actually do a wooden tool like this, thank you for the subscription, Engine, is you split the... Yeah, I need to fix my bot. My bot does not pick up subscriptions at the moment. It's a really annoying thing that I keep on planning to fix, but I just haven't had time to look at any Twitch code. Actually, this is not going to be the right shape, is it? It's going to be too thick a wedge. It's going to be too thick a wedge. What we need is we need a shape with an edge. Ironically, the wedge would probably do us. But yeah, what happens when you make a tool like this, because of how the wood behaves, is you quite often want to... okay, kill the looseness here. When you make a tool like this, you want to put a little wedge cut in the top, and it just lets the... it lets the wood warp a bit. And then what you can also do is typically they'll drive what is it called? They'll drive a thing into the... They'll drive a pin thing into here, and it just keeps the bits sorted. Wait, how do you know my full name? Okay, cool. Okay, so get that detail in there. And then here, where you're gonna hold the handles, what we probably end up doing is, now we want the looseness to be quite low, but we want the blend amount to be quite high. And we want the handle here that we're going to be cutting away with to be a much lighter color. And the reason for that is wear patterns. So if you just find some wear patterns. There. That should help a bit. I'm not a great artist, but I love making these little... This is the thing I love, is I love making these little changes. Okay, so now let's just turn off the blend entirely. And we're just going to come in... Actually, not entirely. A little bit more looseness on this one. And just come in. And we'll just put in a few chinks here and there. Oh no, that chink's too much. With these kind of little changes, you actually want to go really easy, because it's really easy to go overboard with these, and it's much better just to think where that sort of naturally happen. No, that wouldn't happen like that. And just find some bits. And if you're ever stuck with how to improve a thing, I find the best trick is to think about what would happen to it. like what's the story behind it? How would it actually get affected? Oh wow, they've gone really interesting with their blade. I would have not done it like that, but that's an interesting way to do it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do to make their blade stick out a bit more is we're going to come in with the looseness, and we're really going to drop the looseness, not the full amount, but well, actually maybe we need to drop the looseness the full amount. Oh, you know what this is? The sculpt doesn't have enough detail, so we're going to go into here, going to go into tools, we're going to go sculpture detail, and we're going to go increase detail. Just give the sculpt a little bit more memory to work with there. Okay, so now the sculpt's got a bit more memory. Wouldn't the wood go over the blade, and the blade goes through the wood, not over it? There are different ways of doing it. Generally, the way I've seen it be done is the wood would go through the middle of the blade like that, and then it would have a wedge in the top struck through, so the wood tapers out the top so the head doesn't fly off. That's the way I've seen it done on a lot of farm tools. But I believe you can do it other ways. Okay, so one thing that wouldn't happen here is this back... Oh, wait. Come on, let me go. Tools. Finishes, we're definitely working with a shiny metal. Yeah, not with... what did they have? Shiny. Yeah, we want shiny metal. Come in here, and we want to make sure we got the stamp. Yeah, no, it doesn't look right now. One of the reasons for that is it doesn't have the... Actually, let's do that bit first, now that I think about it. It doesn't have the feel of... So, as I say, there's different ways of doing it. If I was actually like really doing this properly, I'd probably do a little bit of research of actual designs. A little bit of blend. But at the moment, I'm going off mostly memory. Come up here. Okay. I'm going to stamp that down. But now remember, if you've ever stamped something down like that and you look at it from a few different angles and you're like, I don't quite like it from this angle, you can always move it a smidge. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do, just to help sell it, yes, I'm going to sharpen the blade. That was actually what immediately drew me to the piece, because I was like, that is a very easy change we can make that won't cost the earth, and will improve it. But the other thing I want to do is I do want to just come in here, and now this does not have to go the whole way through. I'm going to just do that there like that. This doesn't actually have to go the whole way through. It just has to give the impression of the top and bottom. There we go. Cut. Okay, good. And then at the bottom here, because when it's going in like that, and that bottom like that is super flat, it just doesn't sell the illusion that the piece of wood is going through the thing. I mean, even though the piece of wood actually is going through the thing, it looks computerized and fake because there's no consequence. Now, I don't think that's in the right place, but I'm not super stressed because I'm going to go in here. Oh no, I'm sure the person who made this, and here, I'm from another direction. I'm sure the person, thank you for the follow, Rubaru. I'm sure the person who made this had a great time making it, and they might have just moved on to something next. I love just taking something like this and just tweaking on it. Okay, so that those little indents there will help. And now we just need to sharpen this. Now there's a whole bunch of different ways you can sharpen things. What I'm going to do here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a very hard bevel, and then I'm going to come in and smooth. And if I do this in a two-stage, okay, cool. Again, I'm not too stressed about it being perfect yet. Because I can always move this bit about. And as I say, if you get too hung up on the details like this, oh, you know what we did? That we just totally made a mistake there. Oh, shoot. There we go. Total mistake that we made was we forgot to color the subtraction. And make sure you're in the blues here. And you just put a smidge of blue. And so you don't get totally thrown off if you're doing this kind of stuff. It's always useful to shove studio lighting on, because you can get a bit distracted by the sky color. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Crowstumpy. We've literally just started, and we'll be looking at a few people's creations, and we'll be just making some tweaks and answering questions on how to do X and Y, and just mucking about, really. Okay, I think I do need a smidge of blend for this to come across, and I do think I need to kill the looseness. Varying looseness on. There we go. I forgot about that. Okay, we are not having a good time with this. We'll still be able to stream when the beta's over. I do not think I will be able to, actually, because yeah, when the beta's over, frankly. I normally stream like random games and stuff like that, but one of the reasons I stream is because I'm shit at playing video games. I know that sounds really funny, but I love video games, and I get really busy, and I don't make time to play games. And so I basically said to myself, I'm going to stream and have fun just playing games and focus on playing games. And I did. And then what happened was the game I wanted to play and the game I was playing was Dreams. But obviously I couldn't stream it because reasons. Obvious reasons. And so my channel actually went a bit quiet for December and November. But yeah, no, before that we played Spider-Man and a bunch of other stuff. And you know, when Dreams comes out, I think I will be spending a lot of time just streaming Dreams. But you know, I will go back to other stuff at some point as well. Because, okay, so now we've got a wonky blade. But I was just having some real trouble sharpening with the... straight edge there. It's quite hard to sharpen this curve. Okay, I don't like these sharpening techniques. We need to have a good sharpening technique for this, because previously everything I've sharpened has been straight. So normally I just use a cube. But the cube isn't quite working for us. But let's see what we can come up with. Dreams is life, you always dream. Can I challenge you to a video game? Well, as I say, I don't know what I'll be streaming, and honestly, my expectation, I hope I can keep streaming, but my expectation is I'll just end up working late again for a while. I mean, it's actually really funny. We don't really crunch at all. But you know, you always want to make stuff. You always want to get stuff done, and there's so little time. And it's funny because I have actually been pestered to go home more. You know, so they do. So I should make the effort to come home on time and okay, let's go this lighter and get back to streaming schedule. See how we can. This is a really tough one. I might just go in after this and see if we can tweak the rotation just a smidge. I keep on wanting to say smidge, and it keeps in my brain translating to smeg because the wife was watching Red Dwarf before I came onto stream. Yes, no, she does. She does. It's actually quite funny. She worked late, so one of the reasons I started streaming when I started streaming was because her job ends a bit later than mine usually, and she leaves for the job a bit later. It's not a 9 to 5. Okay, so again, we don't want to obsess. If you obsess, like, we want to do detail, but we don't want to get to the point where we're like, ah, because if you get to that point, it's not a good place to be. So we just do until we don't. And you know what? If we make it a little bit better and then someone else comes along and remixes it and they make it a bit better, it'll get better. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, as I say, the reason I do this is because I'm always like, oh, there's this code, this hobby project I should be getting done, or there's this other thing I should be getting done. It's like, I'm terrible for it, because what I'll do is I'll sit down to watch a movie, and halfway through the movie I'm like, I should be coding, or I'll try game, and then I'll try watch a movie while I game or something like that, and it's just not the same. So yeah, streaming's my solution to that, because I love playing games and chatting along to people, and I find it keeps my focus on the game, even though, you know, I'm spending like brain power and attention on stream and on chat and stuff, and I'm not super bothered about whether it's a big chat or a small chat, as long as it's just a few people sort of chatting away, coming on the adventure with me. I am not certain I'm going to be able to get this blade right. I feel like getting this damn thing sharp is going to be quite a mission. I'm going to go back to this. Turn off varying looseness. Okay, I'm going to drop the looseness. And I'm going to up the blend amount just a smidge. I'm going to see if I can do it with so there is a kind of sharpening that ends up looking like this. I can't remember what it's called, but there is a kind of sharpening that ends up with these little circular patterns. So in theory, could be that. But I think I know what I want to do to make the blade. Oh, you know, the kind of sharpening I'm thinking is flint stone sharpening, which would never be done on metal. But let's see what we can get out of this. I don't like it, gotta say. It's got a cool look to it, but it's just got this it's got this feel that I can't quite get it right. Let me come out. Tools. I want to just go increase sculpture detail. I want to reduce detail. No, I want to increase detail. Okay, how much are we doing on the thermometer there? Hold on. 2%. I'm not super jazzed by that. I need to do some coloring on this because I've got the colors a bit mucked up here. I don't know when I made that mistake, but at some point I made that mistake. So let's just fix that. And wait, we need to... Well, actually, no, you know what? First, I'm just going to get a solid color in here like this and fix it. And then we're going to add some proper coloring to it. I think I have one idea how to improve this a little bit. First, we're going to just bring up the color a bit, and we're going to bring up the... Oh, sorry, bring down the opacity, bring up the blend a little bit. I'm going to make this just an interesting shape, so it's not just a... And just going to give it some character to the... So it's not a flat texture. Okay, I think I need to bring a bit more black back. Bring the black back. And then I've got one last idea of how to bring a little something to this, and that's going to be with a wedge like this. Oh, sorry. With a wedge like this, I'm going to put a little notch or two in the blade. Another dimension! Thanks for the follow, Zumi. Oh, God, that's a huge notch. Just a little... A little notch or two. You know, thinking about it, we could probably use this shape to sharpen a bit. But I don't want to spend too much time on this one thing. So we are going to move on. I don't think we have actually improved this that much, to be fair. I actually think this one... I'm not super chuffed with this one, I'll be honest. I think we could... I don't think we've really improved it a ton. We don't need... Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true. Well, let's save it. Quick save. We'll just save it as a sculpture. And we'll just do it as a remix of a plain scythe, but we'll capitalize scythe because what ifs? Yes, unfortunately the wife is sick. Now Google has decided for 2 notches and oh god, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. We'll publish it as public and you guys can have a go at improving it. That's what we ended up with, and this is what we started with. I honestly don't think... Oh, hold on. Versions... what am I looking for? Oh, that's right. I need to save a version. Save and release. Release as public. Yeah, okay. Let's see where we started. So we started with that. I think it's a little improvement on the original. We can definitely do better. But anyway, moving on. Let's give a like to the original. Let us find who was up front. I know MCS was second in line, but before that we had... Let me just scroll up chat. Let me just scroll up chat and find it. It was... brains! There you go. Matty. Mattitude 27. There we go. Let's look at some of your creations and let's see what we can do. We've got a house plant. Radish kits, I like that. Asset mashup. Slide demo. Remix of my first tree. Hold to exit. Phone ringing. UK speed sign. Oh, ladybird. I saw the ladybird in the bug jam. I actually really like that ladybird. The bee. Oh, cute. Global game jam. Okay, let's stick to the more recent stuff, I think. Oh, candelabra. Oh. Cutting it close. Inspired by. Inspired by. I like it. No direct names. Okay, so let's stick with the recent stuff. Houseplant. Okay. Let's remix the houseplant. Okay. Right. Okay, let's do this in stages. First of all, let's get the houseplant in here. Okay. Oh, always remember, move that camera around. Okay, cool. So the first thing I would say, before we look at the plant, we'll look at the plant in a sec. The first thing I'd say is let's look at this pot. If you were to go to a shop and buy a pot plant, it would never be this. Okay, hold on. Let's just do some selecting. Unselect that, and we're just going to group up the plant. Let's see, we got it all. We got it all. Okay, cool. And then we're just going to go into tools. And we're just going to freeze the plant so we don't accidentally select the plant. Okay. So the first thing is the pot. No. You should be proud of the pot. We're just going to look at it, right? So now if you were to go into a shop and you were to buy a pot, this is a little on the plain side for a pot you buy, but I think it's acceptable. Like, I think I could see myself buying a pot like this. Is it new or is it old? We need to make the decision. Is it new or is it old? I think anything that gets around dirt and plants is going to get a little bit of wear. So the first thing I'd probably do is we go tools. And now bear in mind, as I say, I am no artist, but I do like telling stories. And so much of this kind of environmental stuff and so much of just like making stuff and just telling stories. Okay, so if I don't like that color quite right, is it too red? That's about right. Okay. You know what? I think to get this color right, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get more than one shade in here. Let's muck about. That's too red. I think I need more desaturated. Okay. And then do that. And then we come in here and get the opacity down. Soft blend a little bit. Okay. And I just want some... Oof, that doesn't quite look right to me. I just kind of want a little bit of muck around the rim. Not a huge amount. Just a little bit of muck and wear. Now, if this is glazed pottery, the coat wouldn't wear off. That's actually a good point while we're looking at it. Is this the right finish? Let's go through our finishes. At the moment, we've got it set to a shiny finish. Now, a pot generally would probably be rough or... Yeah, I'd probably go with rough. Okay, yeah, let's dirty up a few more bits. Cool. Does that help? I feel like that helps. I don't want to rough it up too much. It's all a question of how much do you want to invest in it, but I do think it needs something. Can you continue to do 24 streams when the... I love doing these kind of streams. They're really fun. Do you know what I think this needs? I think this needs just a little something. A little bit of character to the pot. Now the underside, we're never going to see the underside, so let's not focus on that. I'm tempted to put a ribbon on it. I'm tempted to put a pattern on it. I'm thinking, like, if I was selling this pot in IKEA, would I just see it like this? And I could actually see this pot in IKEA now that I think about it. It's part of like a basic home set. And I'm making the assumption the pot's not old or chipped in any way. Okay, let's leave the pot now. I think the pot, we could go there. I think if it was chipped, if it was aged in any way, we could do stuff with that. But I think that pot works. Like, you know, unless it takes damage. Now let's move on to the plant. Seen it horizontally a few times. I mark it down for clearance, yeah. Okay, so the first thing with the plant, I think the strokes for the dirt, generally all good. Right, let's just get a few more in there. So we get the dirt nicely settled. Do you know what? Actually, the cheaper way to do this, bring this down in size, go into here, go into clones, and just go on plane, and then just bring it in a bit. And because clones of a stroke are so cheap like that. And now you've got quite a solid base. Okay, so now let's look at this plant. Strokes for plants generally are the right way to go, especially if the plant is background. However, if the plant is a feature piece, you might not be best off with strokes. Like, I would definitely use strokes, definitely for the petals and stuff. But I'm primarily thinking about the stem. Okay, first of all, let's get rid of the superfluous stuff here, and let's sort of focus on the stem. Do we feel like this could... I want to work with what's there. I want to start from scratch. Do we feel like the stem could pass muster? Do you know what? I just don't see this stem working for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into modes, and I'm going to go into sculpture mode. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab the curve. I'm going to grab the shades you were working with. And we're going to start. Here we go. We're going to get this curve. We're just going to drag it out here a bit. Bring in the stem size a bit there. And then bring in the stem size a little bit. You don't want too much tapering, because if you actually look at a stem, there generally isn't much tapering in a stem. Like plants, because of how rings in plants work, they tend not to have much. How did I do that? It's the curve tool, and then just shift square on the curve tool. Okay, we need to decide what direction the sun is at, because the plant will generally tip towards that. If you ever see like a super time lapse of plants, you'll see they actually move quite a bit as they're alive. Okay, just stamp that in place. Okay, so now that's our new stem that we're going to work with. Okay, so go into here. Let's get rid of the old stem. Okay, let's bring this in. Now, bear in mind, we still want to, yeah, shift square is L1. L1 is shift. Okay, so this stuff here, I'm going to assume this is meant to be like a grass, right? Like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like some additional plant life in the plant. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to merge these paintings like that. It's not the same as grouping. And then I'm just going to go into here. And again, I'm just going to use the clone tool on a plane, but nowhere near the same amount of clones. We're going to bring it right in. Again, bring down the number of clones. Rotational duplicates around hemisphere, no, around cylinder. Around cylinder seems to work for us. Okay, let's see, does that work for us? Oh. Kinda. I'm just gonna clone it like that and rotate it to give it a bit of variety. There we go. Real plant is like a bird of paradise, that's what it's called. Okay, we could look up a reference for that. As I say, don't want to get bogged down too much in details. But let's see what you are going for, right? Bird of paradise. Bird of paradise. Images. Oh, yes, we had some of these in my garden growing up. Right, so open image, new tab. So I'm trying to see if I can get just the image onto a tab. There we go. Copy image address. Give me 1 second so I can just show it to stream. Let's just go browser source. Create new. Oh. There we go. So that's kind of what you were going for. Yes, OBS. I do like OBS. I'm trying to okay, bird of paradise. Yeah, I remember these plants. So I'm just gonna work from that reference. I put the real plant. Oh, okay, so this is based off a real plant. I apologize. How do you select color from scene? Okay, so when you push, so if I'm, say, in this mode, when you push the touchpad and bring up the color picker, if you just hover over like that, you can just pick the shade of the thing you're working on. Okay, so I don't know what the leaves look like on this. I don't want to get too touched up in reality here, because okay, we need to start a new. You need to start a new stroke. Get the color there. Okay, cool. And make sure we brains. Make sure we have the right kind of fleck. Going with Impressionist for this, because I think we're using the wrong tool. We need the pen, not the... Yes, that's the one we want. I'm not the greatest. but I can try. There we go. Eek. Okay, I think that, you know what, that's going to need to sell it, other than a really great secondhand car salesman, is I think we're just going to, I'm working with what I got, which is not a lot of artistic talent. Sorry to take the stream. How are you streaming from OBS on PS4? I have an external capture card, because I just find it much easier to work that way. I really like the share button functionality. I find it really handy, but it's also just nice to have the options of a capture card and what OBS allows. Okay, right. So those strokes are in the wrong place, but that's not a huge drama because we can move them into the right place. Yeah, but what we're going to do is we're just going to try bring a little bit more to this leaf attempt I have here. Not great, but it is what it is. Okay, that there. Let's just bring it a bit. I like the, well, actually this predates me doing dream streams. It was just because I used to have a green screen and chroma and all that stuff set up, and I got a little bit annoyed at the chroma effects when they were happening, and I got annoyed at setting up the green screen because I have a small London flat and the green screen was taking up a lot of space. So I was like, you know what, sod it. I'm going to get a little divider thingy, and I'm just going to throw that up behind me, and I'm just going to have that as background. And it's worked quite nicely. Okay, so then what we're going to do, again with the Impressionist, because we're trying to keep this consistent, we're just going to go in here, and while the stem is lovely, and we like the stem, guides, surface snap, we are going to need to give the stem a little bit of help to just, oh no, there we go, a little bit of help to just appear, I kind of want to say appear planty, if that's even a thing, but yeah, because I think, well, actually, you know what? I'm doing this all wrong. I'm doing this all wrong. If we actually just go into here and we just loosen this up, brains. If we just loosen this up a smidge, fleck perspective. There we go. You know what we need to do is we need to break out the coat tool. Tool mods. Coat. We need to get not tint, not hue. Is it the coat tool I'm looking for? Maybe it's not. Ah, it's the style tool. That's right. We need to switch it up to the Impressionist. Switch that up, and then tools, comb. We need to comb the stem. But yeah, so it was just a thing that came out of necessity of me wanting to manage the style mode comb. I accidentally combed that the wrong way. Eek, I don't like what I've ended up doing to those. Let me undo. There we go. Come in with a comb and comb that. Okay. You know what I think I need to do with those, actually, while I've got the style tool out, is I think I need to ruffle them a bit. No, don't want to ruffle them. I want to... If I don't want to ruffle them, is it impasto that I want to do? Oh, it is impasto. not super happy with those leaves. I have to admit, not super happy with those. I wonder if there's a different way I can do those. I wonder if I can form a leaf with... I'm spending quite a bit of time on this, aren't I? But I wonder if I can perform a leaf by flattening out a sphere for the petal shape. I'm learning as you're learning, because I've never done it like this way before. But I'm wondering if we can put the leaf like that. And now remember, one of the things about leaves is they have that oh no, I love helping out with this kind of stuff. I really do. It's my favorite thing to do, is to help with this kind of stuff. We don't see the thing because we're in smear mode. Let's just shift to stamp mode. Get the blend up. This is my favorite thing to do in Dreams, which is just muck about and learn and teach. I love teaching. Love teaching. Even when I'm learning as much as I'm teaching. Actually, especially when. Let's drop the looseness there a bit. You know what? I think the way to solve this is to flatten this up, because we just want to bring a little bit of... If I was in 3D Studio Max or something, I'd be like using a bend modifier, but we just need to... I'm not sure that works. Maybe. Maybe. Bear in mind, we are going to have the final trick with this is we are going to bring in the looseness, and the looseness is going to hide a lot of our mistakes. The looseness is really our friend to hide our roughness. Like, you can make amazing things in Dreams, but one of the things it's really good at is just sketching out ideas, and it does that by giving you stuff like looseness to just sort of get impressionistic with it. Okay. Yeah, I really kind of wish there was just a bend tool or something I could bend this with. I'm trying to think how I could do that. I wonder. If I shove the blender mount right up. Okay, come in here. I wonder if I do like that, and then I flip this, and I do like that. No, I don't like it. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Now let's come into here, and we will loosen it up, get a bit of fleck perspective on it. Okay, now let's bring in the this style tool. First of all, we're trying to keep everything with this impressionistic feel. Looseness. Ruffle. Pasta. Can't say I'm 100% won over, but I like it better than the the stroke ones we had there, at least for this scale. you're removing. Oh, was I? Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay, but I think I am going to go into here, and I think I am going to get that impressionistic, get the color out, pick that shade, and I do think I'm just going to not so much hide my mistake as detail over it, shall we say. Because I don't like how those bits are there. Oof, I don't, okay, that fleck perspective is really killing those leaves at a different distance. We need to kill that flex perspective. You got to be really careful with the fleck perspective. I haven't actually found many cases where I use the fleck perspective just because of how it works. Come in here. Do you know what? I'm going to lose that entirely. I'm going to bring the looseness up rather. Lose that. Ruffle. Again with you as well. Come in here. Lose that. Ruffle. Bring the looseness. Oh, not that far up, but pretty far up. Okay. So without spending too much time on this bit, because as I say, we're spending quite a bit on this. First of all, we need to turn off the surface snap. I think the way to get this looking right, because this is actually quite a tough plant to get right, I think, is, oh, go down in size a bit. Okay, first of all, let's get this sheath thing it's got. I'm sorry. But the self-closing box, we got into a land of no progress because of bugs. So I don't feel as bad because I don't feel like we're in bug land. Oh. See, this stuff is actually a lot easier with the moves because judging depth, man, it's tough. It is so tough. The only thing you can do is you have to just constantly move the camera. Just constantly move. Get a sense of where you are. Oh, come on. Why can I not pick that up? Pick it up. There we go. Because if you're not moving the camera all the time, you'll get lost. And it doesn't have to be big movements, it's just these small little movements to sort of align yourself. Okay, I think, so you know what's missing for me from this picture? First of all, let's get this here. There we go. Let's get some of the back on here. We're going to move those strokes in a sec. I know they're in the wrong place. As long as we're learning and as long as we're having fun, it's all good. Why are we not being able to pick up? Come on, pick it up. There we go. Bring that in. Okay, so yeah, the thing that really is missing for me from this is, I think, first of all, we can resolve some of this with, is there a tool to do it in here? I'm not seeing one. Okay, brush pen. Now remember, the brush pen stays opaque, it just comes through. Okay, so we're going to select that color, but then what we want is we want nice vivid mix. So come in here, we're going to go a bit more to the pink here. Get that in. And then we want that nice, really vivid orange. Striking color. And if we do it like this, there we go. Cool. Oof. It's that color mix. Oh wait, there we go. Are we on it? Oof, it does not like that color mix. Hold on, let's just check that we're not confusing ourselves. Let's turn on studio lighting. Colors are still not doing what I expect to do. So let's go simple with a 2-color mix. Get it bright. Bright. Yeah, it's a bit faded there. See how that, oh yeah, that's a bit more vibrant. But what I'm really seeing in the flower here is I'm seeing these strong lines. And then the petal up like that. Oh, and you see we lost the angle there of the and then I think we need to come in and we need to get this green again, and we just need to solidify the base. Okay, we're gonna have to move those strokes around a bit. That's fine. But I think that gives us a stronger foundation to work from. Okay. It's not perfect. It's not ideal. But I would say it is an improvement. So you know what? I'm going to leave the flower job there. It definitely can be improved on. There's definitely a lot of stuff you could do. And oh, little trick by the way, if you've ever got a bit like this, that it's quite important that it pops, you can actually just go in here and just, first of all, let me turn it way up. Okay, good. Don't want it that far up. Just put a little bit of glow on it. Not a huge amount, just a smidge. Wait, is that not? Okay, there you go, 14. There you go. Yeah, just a smidge, and it'll just help it catch the light and pop a little bit. Yeah, as I say, you could definitely spend a lot more time. You could definitely work from reference a bit more, put it together, but we can save that. And also, when you're saving your sculpture, so it is a house. So what I would say is call it a potted, and what did we call it? A paradise plant. Paradise plant. Because if you have a bit more descriptive of a name, then when someone's looking for the thing, next is assigned by Supposer. Cool. We'll go check that out. So we'll publish that as public. Let's go to here actually. It is flora. And we'll add the tag paradise. Paradise. And we'll add the tag pot. Or potted. Okay, save that off. Before we go on to the sign by Supposer, which I want to check out, I just want to actually see... Oh, hold on. Minor correction. I actually just want to see if we go out here, what the state to prove why I was saying you need to do this is if you go into here and you search for plant. So you see you'll get quite a few different, oh that's quite a good one. I really like that one. You'll get quite a few things. So saying something like fern leaf or lilac or whatever will just help you figure out the thing you're looking for. There's some really lovely ones. Some very, very talented people are making plants. I quite like this one. Very small improvements could be made to it. Like you could do like very quick things to improve that. But I quite like what they've done with that. The basic shape there. It's got a lot of promise. It could definitely be much nicer. But that's a nice piece. I like that. Okay, we were looking at a sign from Supposer. Okay, so let's look for Supposer, because that's going to be the quickest way. Supposer! Oh, you're a player. And you've got a sign. A sign, simple throne, broken tested zone. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Snowing.
Yeah. You've got to like the play you just seen. Oh, I did forget. Damn it. This wooden sign, is this the one you're talking about?
When you look out the window, you see it. Holy fuck.
Oh, it's a good start. It's a good basis to start. How are we doing for thermometer? But I like where it is. Okay, 3%. I would say 3% is a little on the high side. I mean, the sign is very nice, though. So I think, yeah, I actually really like this sign. Now, one thing I'd strongly say is depending on where you put it, having a bit, like if you're putting it in grass, having a bit of grass around it, if you've got some stone or whatever, putting some rubble there, like where the sign meets the ground is going to be a big moment. Move the planks, yeah. No, I really like this sign. I'm actually a big fan. I know that sounds like such a silly thing to say for like little props, but this is the kind of stuff that's the backbone of the Dreamiverse, really. These kind of bits and bobs that people can reuse. You've got some nice cuts in there. Oh man, I'm hard pressed. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is I'm just going to look for thermometer stuff. See if there's any easy wins. Okay, so you're definitely spending most of your effort on the planks. I can't actually fault that. You know what I'm going to do though is I'm going to reduce the detail on the planks just a smidge. Okay, so now I'm not sure I like how far I've gone with it. No, I don't. Bring it back a smidge. Okay, but then to bring back that detail that you've lost there, again, just very quickly go in with the looseness tool, focus on the edges. I know I've shown this before, but it's just such a quick win. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to undo the loosen. I took that too far. Okay, cool. Because the sculpt detail like actually assigns how much MIP there is to the, like how many different bits there are to the thing. So then if you go in here and we go and we bring the looseness up a smidge. So yeah, if you loosen these flat bits, this is where you'll get some, oh wait, you know what we need to do is we need to do soft blend. So we don't have that hard edge. You loosen these bits and you'll get a bit of thermometer back if you're going to use this sign a lot. But honestly, this is just such a great piece. This is really a solid piece. Loosen. Wait, get the blend in. Yeah, no, I honestly don't think I can do much for this piece. In fact, I think I'm damaging it at this point. I don't think I'm actually helping. I'm trying to think if there's anything I would do. London on one side, Guildford on the other. I'm going to make a level Sackboy versus Imp. It's going to be totally biased because Sackboy is going to gain fun. So the throne and stuff you saw by... Oh, okay. That's currently priced. Yeah, no, this is an extremely nice sign, Supposer. You know, without changing it, without making it into a different thing, don't know what I'd really suggest. I suppose... Actually, no, here's one suggestion. We've got to look. You could... It depends what kind of wood, right? Because there's different kinds of wood. Generally, the shinier thing, the more metal or inorganic you tend to go. Like, unless you go slimy. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. What I would say, actually, there's one legit criticism I can provide, which is looking at this. How do you feel about how the planks are attached? Like, how has the carpenter or whatever attached these planks? Now, one way you could do that could be that could work for the way it's been done here is pegs. That's wouldn't give much support, wouldn't be the way generally people would do it. Pegs, though, would be valid. Yeah, pegs would be a valid answer. What you could do, try to think, because this, like, you could get this look if you did pegs, but if you did pegs, I mean, that's a very funny angle on the wood there. Just trying to think of anything I could do to improve it. So obviously the ways you could flatten it to this thing and you could nail it, right? So that's one of the ways you could do it, is you could nail it to the thing. Nails will immediately bring a sense of something a little bit more to it. Otherwise, you could cut into the... No, you wouldn't cut into the pole like this. Generally, nails would be the thing to go. You know what? There's only one way. Let's look at some reference. Wooden sign... wooden street signpost. Yeah, you see, so generally it's either hung, or if you've got like a 4-post thing where they've been done in with pegs, it's very even to the wood. There's some where they've gone through. Nailing is definitely the most common. Looking at reference, nailing is definitely the most common. So yeah, if you wanted a two-way sign like that, the thing is you've got this odd angle like that. That's generally, none of the references like that. The reference tends to be like that. Hold on. Like that. That's a lot more like a lot of the references. But that's a sharp 90-degree angle. I don't know if you would like that, because from a play perspective, it's not great. You could make it 180. But yeah, it's a tricksy one. Honestly, I don't think there's much I can go, and I'm not even going to bother saving that. I think that's just, that needs a like. That needs a strong like. Yeah, good. It's really good. One thing I would say with your name is I'd probably say wooden sign post, just to help search it, and I'd potentially give it some tag there just to help. But honestly, there's really nothing I can feed back on there. I just want to look at the rest of your creations, actually. Shoddily built walls in various state of disrepair. Nice. Hex pillar segment. Hex pebbles. Simple throne. Broken twisted throne. This has got some just nice pieces. I even just like the clouds, actually. Dust cloud. I am a fan. Oh, simple bell. Mage peapod. Oh, I've got to see this. Press triangle. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that. Generative music. Toy generation. Oh, I'm not going to play with things, but making that rotate would be sweet. Or making it grabbable. But anyway, I'm not going to play with joints tonight. Not 2 nights in a row, but I love that. I actually really like that basic wood carving look. Pitted sphere. Don't you mean a golf ball? Hog, broken thrones. Yeah, no. The whole... Yes. Just yes, basically, is what I'd say. Okay, so there was one thing I wanted to actually just play around with, and not collection. Oh, go out of here. There was one thing I just wanted to play around with as a thing. Yeah, I suppose it makes dope stuff. Yeah, no, definitely. Is there a way to supplement other people's creations with tags? At the moment, there's not, I'm afraid. Yeah, at the moment, there's not. Okay, so we popped into... God, I'm awful with names. I'm the worst with names. We popped into Thingy's stream last night. He was doing a whole bunch of PCG. Gods, I'm dreadful with names. I apologize. Okay. But yeah, we saw a stream last night that we raided after my stream was done. And he was doing a bunch of PCG stuff. Logic, microtrip. There we go. And he was doing it by sort of recursive, like through a recursive algorithm. And I said, one of the ways you can actually get away with more is movers and outputs, mover, and we need an emitter. That'll be movers outputs, won't it be? Emitter, cool. Okay, I'm just going to grab the first thing in the Dreamiverse that is small and stampable, that is recent. Frizzly P. That's odd. Why is it not showing the thermometer? Can we turn that off for better? Or is it not showing because I've got... Ah, there we go, thermometer. So I just want to grab something that's... Oh god, that's an expensive banana. Let's grab Floofzilla. It's literally one of the most recent things, right? Okay, cool. Somebody typing a book. Yeah, my wife's typing a book in the background.
Hey.
She is an author. Right, okay, so the emitter, object to emit. Duke. Okay, cool. Right. So forward speed. So the way that, oh man, hold on, signal generator. Here we go. The min of the range should be 1. Clickety clack. Yeah, no. I ain't dead, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. And then the amount that it goes back and forth is really determined by the sweep phase. So if we set it to a 6-second sweep, and it'll lock itself, it's predictable that it locks itself into that range. There's different ways of doing this logic. Can you explain all the things in the generator? It's so confusing. Okay, so the first thing I would say to that is you can always hover over something. And if you hover long enough, a little bit of information comes out. That's always a thing to do, and I often use that. Now, the signal generator is really just a sine wave. That's all it is. It's a sine wave you modify. So sweep seconds, basically what that does is, you see the wave at the bottom? It's just the period of the wave, like how often it changes. So it means it takes 6 seconds to sweep a full cycle, right? The phase offset is just where in its cycle it starts. So that's generally pretty chill. And actually by modifying the phase offset, you can actually get a cosine graph there, because sine and cosine is just for phase offset, really. Pause time range. So this is basically how long you pause at the peak. You can use this to make it a square wave, actually. If you do that, you can get a square wave using the pause time. The reason why there's 2 of these values is basically you can get randomization. So if you do that, now it's random how high the max peak is. And so that's really useful for randomization. So yeah, but in this case we want it to be regular because it's the basis of our words, brain, signal. It's the basis of our generator, right? Because the idea here is that this is like a printing head on a printer, or like the scanner on a CRT. Okay. An emitter. Take that out. So the emitter is just going to point roughly in this direction. Okay. And emitted object lifetime, we can make it infinite. Max emitted at once, 20, so it'll stop at 20. Ignore parent speed, yes. Time between emits, okay. That is going to be the thing that we want to fuck with. Okay, but now at the way it's built at the moment, it basically spits out random bits. Now, if we want this to print, okay, like assume like it's going to start here, and we want the emitter to do no speed, no emit speed. Okay, cool. Right. I need to remind myself that it's going to start with, yeah, that should be right. Hold on. Really impressed. Oh, cool. I need to have a nice those split sliders like in the audio side to add spice sliders. Yeah, it might be easier to understand. Could you have a quick run through the signal? I've done that. Will you be still able to stream once the beta ends? I am afraid I won't be able to. I generally do stream. I won't be able to stream Dreams because the beta will have ended. But I will stream other games potentially if I'm not working too late. That's a good question because they might be able to still create and not upload online. I can't answer that. Official comms channels. This is my personal stream, not an MM stream. Though it might be, you won't let go any further, like thanks for playing Dreams, etc. Yeah, I can't answer that. That'll be handled through official comms. Okay, so at the moment it's going that far. There's different ways we can handle this. We can tweak the max speed up a bit, and that'll make it go further. Let's just go, but I basically want it just to go to the edge of this. Okay. Yeah, that's almost there. I'd say 8 and we're good to go. Okay, so now it's still pretty regular. Ooh, that's interesting. The signal is not what we need it to be because at the moment, remember 6 seconds. Oh, okay. So at the moment we need to adjust the phase offset to 50%. Okay, interesting. Hold on, let me run that through my brain. I need to just understand this for my brain. Okay. No, that doesn't make sense to me. Hold on. Why? Hold on. Why is it traveling backwards there? What's the signal being emitted? Signal being emitted is minus 0.8. Oh yes, because this is... Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So, where we actually want to be is we actually want to be... We don't want to be at 50%. We want to be at, what, 25%? Oh, that's really annoying. Can I get a 25? It won't give me a 25. Okay, yeah, we want to be at 26% in this case. And then the mover, we just change its direction to block. Let's just get the grid on so we have that as reference. Sorry, I did see chat there. I was just a little bit in my own world as I was just fixing up the mover logic. My brain and logic land. Oh no, not the cosines. Has someone made a Counter-Strike clone? I don't know, actually. I'm not a big shooter person. I'd like to see what the community comes up with. They haven't made Counter-Strike yet. Counter-Strike really requires multiplayer, and the multiplayer stuff is coming later. It's not in at the moment. We have said it'll be in a future patch though. Prometheus handles like a bona fide shooter with free aim and everything. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many different... The feel, like, if someone actually wants to make a shooter game, or if they want to make a platformer, I think while it's fun to just make levels, and I think that's a great place to start, if someone really wanted to make a really cool shooter, the thing I'd like to see them start with is a grey box level and just like really polish up their core character control and mechanic. That's what I'd really love to see as a starting point. Okay, so we now have this. This is basically the thing that sweeps us left to right, so we print. Okay, but after a sweep, which takes... Oh wait. Well, I'm curious actually, if I make it shorter, do I travel? Yeah, I don't travel the same distance, do I? Thought so. 6 seconds. Okay. 3.2. Now you can turn up the speed of the mover and then you can turn down the sweep, but I'm going to work on a 3-second sweep. And then this other signal generator, we basically... Do we want to use a signal generator? That is a good question. The other way we could do this is we could... teleport. Tag name. So this is a question of how you want to design your level printer, right? Whether or not you want it to sweep in straight line, advanced one for a regular grid design, or whether you want it to sweep in a smooth wiggle. A smooth wiggle would be more efficient, but a stepped line would be more predictable. How cool is it to be able to just jump into an earlier snapshot of a game version? I do love that. Yeah, character mechanics make or break a great game. Claire, brain, I speak words. Sorry. Okay, so let's grab a tag. Okay, we're going to put the tag on here, but then tag output, scene space transform. There it is. Okay, cool. Line jump. Okay. Line jump. Every public version, not private version, but every public version of a dream is accessible. So whenever you save, quick save, you only have, I'm just going to call this the printer. You only have one save slot for quick save, but versions, you save however many. At the moment in early access, there's no limit to that. Sorry, at the moment in beta, there's no limit to that. Brains, words. I am tired. Yeah, but yeah, so if I save a version now, and I just save it to my PS4, you can save it to the server as well as private. But if I save that, in versions, as the creator, I can see like the auto backup, the quick save, and the version save, and it's organized in time. And these symbols tell you where it's differently saved. So yeah, you can go back and you can muck about with those bits. But every public version is also accessible to other people. Because if you stamp let's say you really like my level and you put it in a collection or you use it in a map or something like that. The version you stamp is the version you played, and you can use the update. Oh, fuck's sakes! You can use the update tool to update stuff in your map. So at the moment we're using this Floofseller, and you can update it to a specific version as well. This only has one version. Or you can update it to the newest version, or you can set it to auto update if you want to trust it. Auto update's risky because they may change it in a way you don't like. So yeah, that's generally how the version system works. It's really fucking handy. It's a bit complicated to wrap your head around if you're not used to like source control and versioning, but it's super powerful. And the reason it's there is because, you know, we don't cheat with Dreams, so like the people working in the studio needed version control, so it's in there. Okay, right. So this teleporter needs to trigger the same on the same period as the sweep. So counter. Count progress. No, not counter. Timer. Timer. There we go. Timer type. Speed, positional, countdown, counter. That's fine. Whatever your sweep in seconds is, we want it to be the same because we don't want to control this in multiple places. So just make it easier for us. Current time. Great. And when the timer is finished, we want to reset the timer, and so whenever the time is finished, we want to reset the timer, and whenever it's finished, we want to teleport. Now what should happen is we should do a sweep. Oh, hold on. This needs to be modular. And it needs to be double the sweep time. Oh wait, I fucked up there. Because remember when you take your thing off, so yeah, it needs to be double. So 2 seconds. So it needs to be double whatever the sweep time is. So now it'll do a row of printing and then took. Now you could optimize this actually, and I think we're going to optimize this to be so instead of doing a line twice, we're only going to do a line once. It does mean that we're going to go left to right, right to left, like that. The other thing I would say is at the moment, if we turn grid snap back on, you'll notice we got a bit of drift, and that was because if we align that to the grid, okay, and we align that to the grid, okay, you know what, I'm just going to take it out. Can I align it to the grid? Ah, there we go, I can align it to the grid. I'm going to just bring it to the same spot originally, and now we're going to move it 1, 2 on the grid, and then when we move it back onto the microchip, it should keep the position. Should it? I meant set grid origin, undo, undo. Okay, that is the position we want. Now when we drag it on, why do you not keep the same position? That's annoying. I thought you did. Okay, Hold on. This is peculiar. Okay, for now we're just going to move this off. We're going to align to grid. There we go. Going to align it to the grid. We're going to move it there. Got to make sure that it is grouped with that. Grouped with that. Okay, let's see if that works. Is it regular? Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no, this needs to be... Yeah, the tag position is... Yes, it's a procedural printer. The thing that's annoying me is I want this to be aligned to the grid. But, you know, the other way we can solve this is we can move this off this. Oh, no, that's not going to work, is it? Nah, it's not going to work. Sod it. The exact tag position is the gizmo point. Yeah, this thing here. Problem is, and it's a bug. It's 100% a bug. There is no way to align this to the grid. There should be a triangle option to snap this to the grid. That's the annoyance. We're not going to get hung up on it though. We're going to just get precise move out. And we are going to do the best damn job we can. No, the microchip is surface snapped onto there. Where the canvas is doesn't really make a difference. That's good enough to show the concept. Okay. So now, so you'll see there's a little bit of drift in it because the teleport's not quite right. And yeah, it goes through like that. And at the moment, it's doing the emitting at a regular pattern, right? Should do both grid snap, and I'm sure it'll change. Yeah, the problem is the gizmo won't grid snap, and that's purely just a bug. It's purely just a bug. I will check on the feedback on InDreams, and it's probably just a bug. That you can't grid snap a gizmo. Small thing. Okay, so now that we've done that, the next thing is this emitter, right, is doing a regular emitter. Now, there's a bunch of different ways you can do procedural stuff. I'm just going to show you one of my favorite. Now, one of my favorite ways to do procedural stuff is actually to use sound mode. Okay. Oh, not there, right. Tools. Not sound gadgets. Search. Search sound effects, search instruments, search music. Tools, yeah, tools. Draw notes. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the way that you can do this quickly and easily. Speaker, there is mixer, general channel, void channel. Really? Did we take that out as an option? Okay. Pop! 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 No. I forget where the mic is. Oh well. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just grab some random sound effect. Doesn't really matter what. I'm gonna use the metal twang. Okay. Oh no, I don't want sound effect. I want actually sound effect is fine. I just need to tweak it. Because just because it's a sound effect doesn't mean it can't become an instrument. Okay, so now this is an instrument. Just make a sound effect of duck typing. Yeah, no, that would be an effective sound effect. Okay, so now this is an instrument, right? One of the things you can do, and I've actually done this for multiple games I've shipped for in the past, is you can grab pieces of music. And now I'm obviously kind of shit with music, right? But you grab pieces of music and you can use these as the basis of brains. You can use these as the basis of generation. So go into this instrument. I forget what the... And here, I'm from another dimension. Thanks for the host, Sean. Is it Sean? I hope it's Sean. Sean Vertigo. Sean or Sheen. I know there's different pronunciations of that. I'm trying to remember the button to reset the... I'm trying to remember the button to delete all of these. Delete all. There it is. Brains. Anyway, so then you can take another performance, record this, and you can... Okay. You can rinse and repeat that, right? But now what these actually are is these are a source of noise or random data in a predictable fashion. And then what you can do is in here you can say where is it? I'm in the sound tools mode, that's why I don't see it. Components. There is I believe is it in here? Yes, randomizer. Output A, output B. No. Do we want to use that? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We want to use that in combination with a selector. No, wait. No, brains. I'm trying to remember now the way that we need to wire this up. You need to... Oh! Yes, that's it. We need an exclusive gate. Is that it? Gate input, gate output, gate sync, close gate, activate. No, we don't need an exclusive gate. What do we need again? We need selecting between signals. I'm pretty sure it is a selector, but a selector does... A selector... If you feed a signal into this, it'll just select A or select B. We need a thing that does the pass-through value of a thing. And I'm just... Sorry, I've got lost in chat there because I... sound effect came out here a good time, feeling personally attacked right now. Not at all. Okay, cool. Better tune out now. I have some food. Okay, cool. Yes, no, you've been creating awesome stuff. I need the thing that... Ah, yes. Yes. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Okay. Change this to pass-through node. Yes. I believe that is the way to do it. Can it make the pop sound as it emits? It could make the pop sound as it emits if you want. But yes, what we need to do here is basically whether or not we select A or we select B. True random. The randomize will happen on that finish. And the thing that's coming out of here, we don't want the envelope, which is the default. If you grab a splitter, we're going to have to shove these onto separate microchips probably because this is going to get messy. But the thing we actually want out of here is the outputs. You go to composite note data. Oh. Composite note data. Let me double check that this is true for this clip that I've just randomly recorded. Piano roll mode. Okay, yeah. What I probably want is the... Yes, you can manage wires and dreams. Give me a sec and I'll show you how. What I probably want is the... You know what, for now I'm going to do the envelope. Oh, fuck's sakes, I pushed the wrong button. For now I'm going to do the envelope, which is the simpler thing. But if you have, like, say, multiple things that you're going to emit, you can basically use the note type. And you can use all the things like the XY in position and all just that noise from the instrument to generate bits and bobs. Oh, for fuck's sakes, I pushed the wrong button again. I meant to delete that. There we go. But for now, we're just going to use the envelope. Okay, so the way you manage wires, I'm usually actually kind of meticulous about this, but I've been a little bit messy this time around. Is you just grab this wire here and you say we want to route it there and we want to route that there and route there. I mean, to be honest, what we probably want to do with this is we probably want to, oh, sorry, there. So if I was really getting meticulous about these wires, what I'd probably do is I'd route like that, route like that above there. It also helps if you color your chips because you'll notice the thin wires take on the color of the chips. The fat wires are like multi-colored rainbows. But the thing I really like about the wire arrangement stuff is when you have a second one like this and you drag it into the pin like that, they can share a pin and you'll see the wires do this sort of ribbon cable behavior, which is just really, really satisfying if you're the kind of person who likes arranging wires. I really like the ribbon arrangement you can do with wires. As I say, I find it very satisfying. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yes, the emitter. Now, the time between emits. Continuous, local space, emit. If we do scene space, destroy scene, emit with wires, destroying. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember the best way to actually do this emit side of things. Lifetime max emitted, recycle objects. No, we don't need to recycle because we're not destroying them. Is there not just do you know what? If we do the time between emits of 0.1 and then we just wire this up to that, that should do the job. Oh, no, that's not right. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to, you know what I need to do is I need to pin that to screen space so it doesn't move with the object. So that's a little pin to screen there. Okay, so now the signal coming from this wire Okay, that's really interesting that it's emitting that's a bug. That's 100% a bug. The emitter is off. I'm sure the emitter's off. Let us take this. Start timer. I'm just curious. Yeah, that is 100% a bug. Huh. Oh no, wait. What if we reset timer? That's interesting that it's never resetting the timer. Thanks for the stream. I'll check out more when I see what you're up to. For personal chips, it's not a big issue, but anything you aim to make public. Yeah, no, true. I mean, it's where you want to spend your time, right? What should be happening, what versus what is happening. Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, I think a number display is a good shout, actually. Oh, for fuck's sakes, I did it again. Pin to screen, please. I keep on doing that. Number display is probably the way to go. Gadgets. Well, actually not a number display. What I actually prefer is if I grab I personally prefer to grab a value slider. And then I like to do that. Just do that. Do that. And then just wire that into the value. And then you can actually just see the value. Yeah, you see that's a 0 most of the time. It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting that it's I mean, it is, hold on. It's overwrite, it's blend. Yeah, it's overwrite. So in overwrite mode, I miss 1 decimal. Undo will open the gadget panel you just closed. I bet you appreciate this one. Yeah, I know. I should just use undo there. Yeah, this is 100% bugged. I am certain this is bugged. Okay. So now interesting. I wonder if I move this onto that. Oh, why is it not? Continuous. Where's the object gone that it was emitting? Close that. Yeah, where's the little creature gone? Oh, there it is. Oh, we've still got precise move on. I totally forgot about that. So let's go into here and let's turn precise move off. That is a damn annoying bug though, I tell you. Yeah, it is continuously, despite the value. Okay, let's move the emitter back onto the board. Let's see if we can debug this. Okay, let's make it emit on the time. Well, let's power it on the timer finish. Let's see if it still emits constantly. No, it doesn't. Okay, so the bug might be to do with the kind of signal that's coming into it. I mean, undo. It may be the signal that's coming into it. So let's go signal manipulator. Okay. Pulse on input. Okay, so pulse on input. Hold on, we need to lock this to the screen again. I'm making a printer, procedural level printer thing, because I was watching a stream last night where they were doing a procedural printer using a sort of recursive method, and I wanted to sort of show off the other way you can do it, where you don't have to create things that create things that create things. You can literally have a printer head. At the moment it's moving quite slowly, but really that's just the speed of our mover and stuff, and that can be turned up. So yeah, from Vane, that's correct. I'm terrible at remembering names, I apologize. Right. So where were we? We were looking at this signal manipulator. Okay, so the output that's coming out there is not great. So what I'm going to do, smooth fall off of man, it really does just not like that. So if I make it pulse, it behaves kind of as we expected, but actually, hold on, do the pulse and then the smooth output fall. That is damn annoying. Okay. Okay, let's do the toggle on and off. Okay. And now let's just see the signal as it comes in here. Okay, what about if we do toggle on? That's really interesting, because what that should be... Oh, if we bring this down, okay, right, turn off edge mode. Right, remap to there. Okay, that's kind of what I'd expect, but it's still quite noisy. So how do we clean up? If you look at the signal here, this signal is super noisy. Part of that could just be the speed at which these play. So if we slow these down, oh, and we should also put these on a loop. Okay. Hold on. Okay, close. I think, yeah, it's a super noisy signal. I'm wondering how we clean that up. I mean, part of it's just how I've been played, like how I was playing. Like if you look at the piano roll for this, these are like super... the piano roll is actually also not the best for you to look at. Turn pinion off. There we go. Pin off. There we go. Right. The piano roll is actually not the best way to view this. The freeform mode is. So you see, I was playing a lot of short notes, which is why that's why the signal is the way it is. We also just need to pin that to the screen, otherwise we're going to go crazy. Yeah, so that's part of, so if we also just switch to piano roll mode while I'm in here, chop that up to there, chop that up to there. I'm just going to clean these up because at the moment they have a lot of empty room. That's not great. And remember, we're not really using these as music, we're using these as noise generators. And you can get different clips. The reason why I like to use music as noise generators is literally the first game I ever worked on in the industry professionally was a skeet shooting mini game for Well, actually, no, that's a lie. The first game I worked on was a PS2 darts game. But yeah, one of the games I worked on, like maybe a year or so later, was the skeet shooting minigame. And in the skeet shooting minigame, I was trying to do all this complex randomization, and then I hit on the idea of taking clips of classical music, because classical music has the really nice recognizable rhythms, and then mapping the pitch of the skeet shooter to the pitch of the note, and just shooting on the notes, and then randomly picking clips of music to switch between. And it gave a really nice rhythm to the random generation, and it worked really well for the skeet shooter. And I've used this trick lots since then for PCG stuff. Yes, you can have the sound muted. All you need to do is take the volume and drop that down to 0. Actually, no, I lie. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to go to what you want to do is you want to go sound channel and you want to go unset. And that should, if I recall, not output the sound. I believe that's the trick. No. Shit. I thought that hid the sound. Well, what you could do is you could shove it onto, say, General A, and shove this onto General A, and then you could say, with your sound gadgets, you could take the General channel, and then you just kill the volume of the General channel. That shouldn't affect the envelope. Yeah, it doesn't affect the envelope, but now there's no sound. So yeah, you can totally do that. But yeah, it's all about just like what you mix the sound to, basically. But yeah, it's still really noisy though. The problem we have here is just our root signal super noise. How do we clean that up? Different ways. We could use edge mode detection. We could literally just do some smoothing. Not smooth rise, smooth fall. You know what I'm going to do in this case, which is really rough, is I'm just going to up the max time between emits. And you know, I'm actually kind of happy with that solution. I don't want to spend too much time on this. This is more a sort of demonstration piece. Okay, so now that that's done, oh wait, on here as well, we want to just, on the emitter, we want to turn up the max emitted at once to, say, 100. Okay, cool. And the other thing we want to do is we want to say destroy, emit with wires, screen space, object just emitted. Where's a counter? We want a counter. So if you want to get your printer to clean itself up, you can also just put a counter in. And you can have the current count target value. There we go. You can make the target value the max to emit, and then you can make the object just emit, add 1, and then you can make the counter full, feed into gadgets, gameplay gadgets. Is it? No, it's a mover and output. You can get that. counter full to feed into a destroyer. And if my logic is all clean, what should happen? Oh. See, I remembered. Oh no, that's no good. It doesn't reopen the microchip, damn it. Object just emitted. Should just add one. What? Oh shit, that's a glitch. Well, not so much a glitch. I understand why it's happening. It's not a bug. It's because the thing is powered off, but you can't actually oh yeah, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to just take that out, change this up to, what did we say, how many objects did we want to emit? Fuck it, let's emit. Oh, it was like 100, right? Okay, so let's take this up to like 100. Come on. There we go, 100. So then we want to feed that into the target value, and just in here the max emitted at once. Want to feed that into there. You know what, actually, fuck it, we can increase that, because what we're going to just do is we're going to say when you hit the limit, we're going to destroy you. And then that goes into the object just emitted. Done. Done. Okay, and then after we've done this, and after it runs its course, and we just check that it deletes itself, we are going to clone it, and we're going to dial the speeds up to maximum tolerance, like whatever we can reasonably output. And then we're going to publish it as a demo of a PCG printer. But yeah, the concept can definitely be built upon and edited. The teleport is a little bit glitchy at the moment because we couldn't align it perfectly to the grid, but that's a fixable problem, and the snapping the gizmo to the grid is just a bug. Okay, so there we go. It emitted its full load and then died like a good little soldier. Okay, so now if we clone, we're just going to clone another one here, and this one we're just going to go in and we're just going to tint this one a different color. We're going to make it go red because, you know, red things travel faster. That's clearly the rules. Okay, so now let us see how fast we can get this. Okay, if we make the sweep on this 0.5, okay, and we make the emitter time between emits, I don't know if we'll get away with 0. I'm going to try with 0. Oh, sorry, I've been so lost in my my land here. Let me see what I've missed in chat. I love meshing music into games, call and response style, yeah, and set, note on off. I wonder what the most complex, but there's been some, trying to remember the name of the creator. If you look for Double Pendulum, the person who created Double Pendulum, at least in the first week of the beta, they were doing a ton of awesome logic gadgets, and I'm guessing they probably have the most complex logic. Skillphallic, why are you sad, Skillphallic? Red things do travel faster in astronomy. That is true. Like a tomato in an elevator. Fort, yes, Fort. He was doing really good logic early on. I don't know if he's been publishing stuff recently. I need to go check. Right. Okay, so now that this has got go faster stripes on it, let's just dial this up. Let us just see what this looks like. Okay. First things first, this needs to just really dial up its juice. Whoa. Okay, maybe not that dial up of juice, but needs to be pretty dialed. Okay, still a bit too psycho. I mean, actually, you know what? If we turn that up, and we get the phase down even more. I mean, if I did the math, I could probably figure out the perfect translation, but okay, it's a little bit glitched. It's a little bit bugged. Is it not killing itself? Has it decided it is too good to die? Let's pin this to the screen. Let's see what's going on. The count has been increased. Does the counter just not hit 100? Do you know what? I think our emitter, emitting faster than 0.1 per second, I think we're missing counts on our counter. Because yeah, we've definitely emitted more than that. That is a bug. That is a bug. So that means we are going to be constrained by the speed of our emitter. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Okay, so if we sweep this up to, let's say 1 second. Yeah, that go faster needs to go a lot slower now. Yeah, I think, honestly, you'd have to double up or use multiple at the moment. I don't think you'll be able to get away with... But yeah. So there's definitely room for improvement. The logic... I don't actually recall. I'm not, that's not my area of code, so I don't have that knowledge in my head. I'd have to ask. But, yeah, okay, hold on. Let's run this thing quickly. And the reason I say that is because now we're going to pause. Or, sorry, we're going to go... tools. Okay, there we go. Right, so let us save this. Save and release a version. Release is public. We'll edit it in a sec. It is... I wouldn't say it's a showcase. I suppose it is a showcase. Is it? Oof. Space for showcases. Okay, we're going to name this. It is a contraption, definitely. Contraption. And we're going to say procedural. Procedural. Ah, stupid me. I can spell, I promise. Procedural. And then PCG. And that should cover us. We'll publish that. Yes. And then what we'll do is we'll just rename it and we'll give it a slightly better description. Okay, let's get InDreams up and procedural printer example. And then here, we're just going to, in the description, small example of how you can use a printer style head for procedural generation. Procedural generation. Okay. And then hopefully some people can find that useful. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these narrowing down of like how much precision points you give, you're always pushed against like your average person and the mega creator. Generally the people, you know, yeah, like it's tough. It's tough. There's a whole bunch of factors and decisions that go into that. Okay. Has anyone got any stuff they would like to see, or anything that they've been making that they want some advice on, or just random bits and bobs? Basically, we like we like trying stuff. We like looking at stuff that people have made, giving feedback. Remixing stuff is super fun. Like when we find something and we're just like, oh, okay, how could we make that a little bit better? How could we make our own spin on that? You know, it's just super fun to grab those bits and hack away at them. Oh, what's that? SG mechanic, green crystal formation. Oh, that's interesting. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. It's not too expensive on the thermometer. They've done a nice job with it. 2% is not bad at all. I'm curious what finish they've used. Finishes? They've used shiny metal. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Yeah, that's really nice. And they've done a nice bit of cloning there to keep the bits. Why a mover or rotator wouldn't work on a puppet? A mover or rotator should work on a puppet. What were you trying to do? If you describe what you're trying to do, I can maybe come up with a way to do it. Typing slowed down, so I'm going to head to bed. Okay. Night, night, love. Kisses? Yeah. You're still sick. Making it an exploding asset. Quick, time faster. Just throwing stuff out there. I don't know what you mean by making an exploding asset. Okay, yeah, I really like this crystal. Honestly, there is nothing I would do to improve this crystal. I'd really like to use it. The other thing I quite like with this is if you group it, what does it look like when you... you can't do that. Undo, undo, undo. There we go. When you... Does this... I forget if this tweaks all... Yeah, it does. Oh, you know what you can do, by the way, little tip here, is if you go to inner properties and you give the inner hull a different color and you set that to glow. Now this will only come through where there's a bit of looseness. So you can get some very funky effects going on like that, where you're breaking the... hold on, that glow's a bit overwhelming. let's actually go with the like a yellow. So yeah, this'll come through where you have like a little bit of looseness or whatever. But so if we go into this and we make where is it? Brains. If we make a tiny bit of, oh, not fleck perspective, tiny bit of looseness. Yeah. You can get some like kick-ass weird effects with that. Yeah. Some crazy stuff, but anyway, we're not gonna. That is honestly just a top-notch asset. I really like it. Let's see what else Kel's made. I feel like we've looked at Kel's creations before. Here we go. Throwing stuff out there, trying to make. How much stuff can you include in a wall before you reach a limit? That's really fluffy. So let's get out of Kel's stuff. I'm going to show you one of the creations I was super impressed with the other day that was going around the office. House of Brevis. So House of Brevis is there we go, House of Brevis. I've misspelled it, but whatever. So this is being done in a single level, and it's because they've done clever usages of cloning and stuff. There's a lot in here that they've fitted in. It's not a factor of spatial size. It's literally just how much can you put in your level. And obviously things like cloning is much cheaper. Rotates arm using a rotator gadget, but it didn't work. Okay, we might have to look at that. Okay, thanks. You can check out my character for this week's community jam if you're interested. I'm quite enamored with the animation I created last time. Okay, what's your PSN? We can take a peek at that. House of Brevis. Oh, House of Beavis, not Brevis. So it's a really high quality level. They've got like so much stuff in it. It's got a sense of scale. There's a lot of sharpness to the sculpts. They come across like moles. This creeping vine effect I fucking love. But you see, because they're using a lot of this repeating geometry, they get a lot of bang for their buck. And they've also got all these sound sequences in. I mean, all these different. I mean, they really put together this really nice piece, and it's just such a big space. And it's just well done, and it's all because they've, as I say, with these pillars and with these like, yeah, it's a very clever use of space. It's really well designed. This really is like a masterclass. Yeah, it's just, it's so out there. But yeah, this gives you an idea of scale. I've seen bigger levels than this, but I'm impressed by this. I like this just because of how much it has in it and just how well put together it is. Yeah, this is the same guy who did the Burger Palace. But yeah, and he's got all these different sculpts in, and it's also what impressed me with this is how tight it is, because obviously if you go looser, you can fit more stuff in. But he's got this really tight, well put together thing, and there's this whole secret, and yeah, it's just so stylish. There's this whole secret area. Where is it? I was sure there was. Is it not there? I'm sure there was like a secret cave system with mushrooms and stuff in it. Ah. Yeah, I'll just go to the end and then we can go check out your character you made if you drop in your PSN. How good is that Pegasus? Yeah, but lean into the strengths, man. Entropy tamed. Okay, cool. Sorry, when you said entropy tamed, I thought you were talking about this level creation. Though my one criticism, there's no level exit. It's my one criticism. It's like, damn it, make a level exit. Okay, Dreamers, entropy tamed. Entropy tamed. Oh, there we go. Oh, level 60. Wow. Part-time dreamer. Oh, Mr. Wiggles. Oh, wow. Oh, I love the hat wobbling on there. Oh, that animation is cute. I do love the wobble on the hat. That is quite lovely. That whole piece is just really nice. That Mr. Wiggles, top fucking notch, Mr. Wiggles. I'm curious what your creations are. Lighter, home. Oh, did you do home? Home's solid. Martians love cows. Oh, I enjoyed that. Backyard. Alert farmer. Yeah, because your Martians versus cows was out quite early. Oh, I've not played your disc golf. Dreams. Oh, okay, it's that one there. Oh wait, so I should have just dialed it up to max. There we go. Oh no, maybe not. Oh, simple's fine. Simple's fine. Oh, slidey. Oh, man. Cool. Simple Daryl barrel shotgun. White fence. Simple white farmhouse. Please tell me. Oh, did you just import that from somewhere? I was gonna say, please tell me you recorded yourself going moo. Where was I? Oh yes, I was looking at your more recent stuff. So Mr. Wiggles, I can't... Oh, I can remix Mr. Wiggles. Wow, okay. I'm just curious. First of all, let's turn on studio lighting. So we just get a sense. Oh wait, this table, this was created by Lady Lex, wasn't it? Or is this your version? I'll check out genealogy in a bit. Oh wow, you actually got really neat there on your controller logic. Yeah, nice. Like it. But yes, what I was actually interested in was Mr. Wiggles. Hide everything else. That is really nice. Did you play around with skin finishes? I'm just curious. Like, oh, shit. I'm curious what you're using for your finish here. Plastic. Okay. Shiny, rough, metal, wax. Wonder if wax or shiny wax would give you a better result. I'm curious. I'm just like, yeah, I know you definitely got the right one there. Huh. And so this hat, is this, yeah, this is on a joint, isn't it? X-ray. Why can't I see the joints? Connectors. Oh, nice. And then, do you have a blink thing on him? I didn't notice the blink. Blink's an easy one to get in, but yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Oh wow, and he's got a positionable. Oh man, that's really fun. So yeah, if you wire that to an envelope of a sound, when he's talking, you can get a basic mouth flap going, which is good. I'd say, oh, this is a really nice piece, Entropy. Good cheat with the legs there. Like it. Okay, so that is actually sculpted on. Oh, okay, I thought that might be another. I like using the waist belt to hide hide the puppet problem, the puppet waist problem. It's always tricky designing your puppets to deal with that, because like we haven't got shared weights, we've just got like a joint system. So yeah, you can't have that like deform. Interesting. So what I've actually seen some people do, by the way, FYI, if you're making puppets and you're having a tough time dealing with the the deform problem when things get in too tight, is I've seen some people use the connector. Use the connector completion connectors. So here on this elbow, X-ray, is X-ray turned on? X-ray. To use that to so this bit here that spits out how bent the joint is, to actually turn on and off a different version of the model. So if you need to do like a squish thing, so I have seen that done, and that's one way of dealing with the overlap problem that can occur. And that is just is that just an emitter, or what's that? It's just an emitter. Huh. That is really nice. That is a solid piece. I really like that. Honestly, I don't have any feedback to improve on that. Because that's just, I mean, one thing I would probably say is I wouldn't leave up the text for that long. What I'd probably do is, actually, let me just edit and show. So this Mr. Wiggles thing, what I would potentially do is, I don't think this text is distracting. It's kind of dull and boring. What I'd potentially do is I would split this out into, where's the text gadget? There's the text gadget. I would split this out into two things. So, hold on, let me clone it so I don't have to do too much typing. In this first one, I would just say Mr. Wiggles, like that. And don't be afraid to play around with, where is it? The texture stuff can be really, really helpful. Have you brains, center alignment, and then so if you do and then brains on the background here, you can do I'm from another dimension. Thanks for the follow, Ampedus. Where is it? Texture strength, texture scale, fade amount. Oh, there is a way to kill the boxiness. Oh, there it is. Text box curves. Do that. And you do that. And then you can actually just tint this a nice... what I'd probably do is I'd tint this like a dark red, and then for the actual color of the font I would maybe put a little bit of yellow in, just a smidge, smallest smidge, and then where's it gone, Mr. Wiggles? Oh, wait, have I screwed that up? Yes, I have. Cool. So yeah, then what I would do for Mr. Wiggles is I would just sort of put this in on the screen for a bit, and after a bit I'd fade that out. And for this bit, I would actually I wouldn't ruin the surprise. Like the text, the copy isn't as funny. I would just put the R2 in there, and I probably wouldn't even bother with a background. And then I would just have that as a hint on the screen. Wait, brains. It's a small thing, and literally it's the only feedback I can give you. Because that character is way beyond what I can create at the moment, and it's just really solid. I mean, one of the nice things you do learn, though, especially when you work with so many talented people, brains, fuck's sakes. Sorry, I'm just annoyed that I can't grab the edge of this thing. Anyway, when you work with so many talented people, is you learn to give positive and critical critique to professions who aren't yours, right? Because you work with artists and stuff, and you've got to be able to give them professional critique and stuff. But yeah, I would fade out like the Mr. Wiggles bit after a bit, and then I'd fade in like the R2, and then you don't have that text box in the middle. Yeah. And then that's, yeah. I like that you've got a sound on it. The sound really does help. It sounds like such a small thing, but that little bit of sound on the sparkler, really, it noticed. And even people who say they don't notice it, they notice it, trust me. Now that is really, really fucking solid. Wow. I'm really happy tonight. Like, I feel like we've had a lot of good stuff to dig into. Snowdack. Oh, Sir Rust. This looks interesting. Okay, it's all a bit plain, and you kind of, with all the tiny highlights, you lose the detail a bit. It's got promise, though. It's got a lot of promise. Let's check out this creator. What else are they working on? Gary, Rust Bucket, Rust Bucker, Rusty Ro. They keep on saving that as a different name. That's kind of shitty. Hexagonal. Mother Alien Floater Planet. Interesting. I'm curious if they're Gary. Oh, okay. It's just a booty and a... okay. It's nice to see what people are making, though. Skyscraper Model 1. Okay, quite. 31st of October 1963, work in progress. So Halloween 1963. I'm curious. Where do I know this music from? I know this music, oh god, please tell me they've composed it in Dreams at least. I don't think that's a easy question to answer in terms of the most sought after skill. If I'm honest, I think the most sought after skill... Oh, okay, how do I phrase this? I think the skill that is going to be the hardest in the community is people who are just really good to work with, or people that people want to work with. Oh, God. Date of the first Halloween movie. Oh, okay. Like, collaboration's hard. Like, people who are able to collaborate with other people, it's tough. And, like, I think people who do that, you know, solid. I think generally every area is going to have pros, and it's going to be... you can contribute a lot to every kind of section. One area that I think is going to be quite critical, but I think the influencers and the players and the YouTubers will cover this, is curation. Like, so I don't like to talk too much about work because this is my personal stream, but like the thing I'm working on is called the Declarator, and it's basically the thing that powers recommended search. So I think a lot about how to make good content shine, and not only good content to play, but good content to stamp, good content to use, that kind of stuff. So my head's a lot in the curation space. So I really appreciate like people playing around with curation and making collections and stuff. So I care a lot about that stuff. Prop makers really powerful. You know, if you're making just solid props that other people can use, backstage stuff, backlot stuff I should rather say, it'll be really awesome. People who can put stuff together well, game design, polish. I mean, honestly, I think every area is going to be needed. It's going to be really hard. Yeah, the recommendation system in the beta FYI. Okay, I think that's all there is to see of that. The recommendation system in the beta FYI is super dumb baby mode, because there's no real data. So it's also why auto surf's not there. There was just no content to surf, and there was no recommendations to base it on. Question about audio. Fire away. Fire away. What's the question about audio? Centrifuge. You see, I love it when people make this shit. I fucking love it. This stuff is great because someone needs a centrifuge. Now there is a centrifuge for some random horror thing in a lab or some random lab thing. I love it. And you know what I love doing with this stuff? Done it before, I'll do it again. If we go in here, curious. I'm just curious. How have they done their buttons? Oh no, have they done, they've done the button pad as, there's literally no reason, mate. There's literally no reason. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete your buttons. Okay. We're going to come out. We're going to go to grid mode. And now remember, you can always align the grid to, oh, hold on. Actually, you know what? Grid mode is not going to be the best for this. What we need is precise move. And then you just do this. And why am I making a thing of this? Well, one, it is cheaper to clone like this. But the other reason, and the main reason, was because I was quite tempted, and I should have done it. Oh, hold on. I'm going to undo that. Sorry. Brains! Is I love, like what I'd love is for someone to just come in here, microchip, it's the smallest of small things, silliest of silly things. Question about audio recommendation systems are extremely difficult. What do you think about the feasibility? I can't comment on anything like that. That's comms team, official channels. Does it spin? It doesn't currently spin, but it's 11:30. I don't know if we should get into joint land. Can you get real-time feedback on the voice recorder through the headphones? So one of the real-time feedbacks, the little sound wave that comes around the imp when it records, that the whole real-time feedback thing, that's kind of platform level SDK issues, because you don't want, so for instance, when I'm streaming at the moment, my feedback is coming directly out of my mic for the lowest latency. If I used my computer's listen through desktop things, I'd get like a slight delay, and that throws you off horribly. And if we did it via the PS4, unless the PS4 had low-level hardware stuff, and it does have some stuff you can turn on for that, I believe for some voice chat where you can hear yourself from the mic, there is like that option at a system level, but we can't turn that on for you, and it just basically repeats everything that comes into your mic into your headphones. But yeah, the other thing I would say is pretty much any USB mic, like not every USB mic, but most the sort of bog standard USB mics, if you plug it into a PS4, works as a microphone. And even a relatively cheap microphone, condenser microphone off Amazon, USB one, plug it into your PS4, you'll get much better sound off that. Much better sound. So yeah, I'd highly recommend looking at that if you want to do any sound stuff. And hey, it's a USB microphone; it'll work with your PC and other stuff. So it's not like it's wasted money or anything. Right. Anyway, what the thing I was going to do was I was going to say, modes, sound mode, search for sound effects, the junk cupboard, combat, characters, dramatic, ambient spots, collisions, backgrounds, machines in movement. I think it's probably going to be the junk cupboard. Air horn, cheeky mouth pops. Is there not a... I'm just looking for a button. There must be a satisfying button push that we put in somewhere. Can't imagine there isn't. Dramatic effects, ambient spots, collisions. Collisions. There must be medium impacts, soft impacts. No. Machines in movement. Let's look under machines in movement. Maybe there's mechanical loops, buttons and switches. Oh, I knew there was a section for this. Plastic push button. Okay, cool. So if you grab there, and then you want to just there we go, and we just want to put a little bit of glow on that. And if you hover over it, I just want to put in the smallest amount of what I think. If we do a tint to a yellow, maybe we can get away with that. There we go. Okay. I want to just play it and just see what that looks like. That's funny. Why won't it let me... Oh, it's because it's not marked as grabbable. That's why. Oh. There we go. Go in here. Collisions. Mark it as grabbable. Play mode. Oh man, that's good. How much would you make bar graph or health bar using the tech? How could you make? There's a bunch of ways you could do it. Unicode is fully supported, so you can go to town with that, really, with the text gadget. Okay, I'm trying to sing on key without being able to hear myself. Lol, is brutal. In which case, if you're serious about singing, what I would just say is get yourself a really cheap pass-through USB mixer, especially one that registers as a mic, and just listen to yourself through the mixer. You can get, like, especially if you go secondhand and eBay and stuff, you can get that really cheaply. Okay, this is a completely absurd thing we're doing at the moment, by the way, which is making these buttons on this thing interactable. There's really, I can't think of any reason to do what I'm doing right now other than lol. That is my reason. Lol. I've probably upped the logic budget of this significantly. But you know, fuck it. It now has interactive pad. It's such a silly feature, and I don't even know why I put it in. It's a total distraction. What's my gender? Well, fuck it. Oh god, people. Did you move the bar as well as extend when matching keyframes? Did you move the bar as well as extend when matching keyframes? Oh wait, you were talking to Calibre. I don't know what you mean there. Is there a way to rotate text gadget? There is a way to rotate text gadgets. What, thank you, is being kind a job requirement at MM? You're all approachable. It kind of blows me away. I mean, there's a studio culture where we generally try and be nice human beings. That's like studio culture. This game looks amazing. Excited. Own creations. I'm super excited. I'm amped. Could the keyframe depress a little? Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Do you know what? I'm gonna fucking just take this keypad out when we're done, and I'm just gonna republish this keypad as a separate creation. Cause fuck it. Right. Okay. Like, this is the kind of pointless shit that I just love. You know what? Oh, yeah, the way to do this is with the keyframe, isn't it? Oh, yeah, speaking of which, someone asked me a question. Oh, no, they didn't ask. I think it was someone in Discord was asking about things. Just the thing I want to mention with keyframes and with action recorders. I'll just do it now with the action recorder. If I grab this thing and I move this thing as part of the action recorder, one of the cool things with keyframes and action recorders is if you go into travel mode, it'll actually like when it loops, it'll like travel with the thing, which means you can make like a walk animation or a thing like that with that. And that's actually really cool. The other thing that a lot of people don't realize is, let's get rid of the action recorder. The other thing people don't realize is with the keyframe, when you move like that, okay, and go out. Oh wait, all right, stop. Okay, cool. With the keyframe, you can, where is it? Keep changes, smoothing. Did we take it out? Linear, no. Keep changes is obvious, like the changes are left behind when the thing powers down. My brain is short-circuiting. My brain is short-circuiting. Timeline. Huh. Was it a keyframe? I'm sure it was a keyframe. Sorry, I'm having a senior moment of like fucking Alzheimer crap, like where my brain's just going, cannot remember shit. Action recorder. Was it an action recorder? Did we just rename it to travel? We must have just renamed it to travel. Yeah. Travel. That's the thing I wanted to show you. It used to be called something else. Sorry, brain fart. Yes, I do. This is my personal stream, though. This is 100% my personal stream. So mad I didn't get into the beta. Oh, sorry about that. How long? Can't comment. That's official stuff. Long comment to Calbury. What are you thinking of? Grid movement. Yeah, travel mode. I'm thinking of travel mode. Demo the travel mode, please. Sure. So how that works is if I'm just going to clone this fucker here. So if I take the action recorder and I make this thing hop like that, right? Stop recording. And now if I tell this to loop and I tell it to travel, what'll happen is you see it just actually travels. When it loops, it doesn't go back to the starting position. It's super handy, especially when you're layering animations and stuff. It sounds like such a stupid thing, but like when you realize, holy fuck, that's a feature, you're like, oh, okay, that's actually really useful. Small things, man. It's the small things. Right. What was I doing? Oh yes, we were gonna make a keyframe because we're fucking over the top with this, because fuck it. That's why I was in the animation thing to start with. Right. No. There we go. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the keyframe too extreme, right? And then when I edit it, little hack, you can make it too extreme, and then you can make oh no, I can't. I was thinking of the action recorder. Claire, you're being silly. No, there we go. Come on. Don't be silly. Okay. Now go in. Depress. There we go. Motherfucking decimal point. Okay. There we go. Stop. So now we have a button that is so over-engineered for what it is. What we will do is we'll take this pad and we will republish this pad, just the pad, as a usable pad for, oh, for fuck's sakes. There we go. Is that deep enough? No, still not deep enough. Go deeper. There we go. I should have seen the There we go. I'm super excited for the release. All else fails, you could use paint strokes or see if there's ready-made in Dreamiverse. Yeah, cool. Okay. Oh, that is so satisfying. Like, legit, I kind of want to make a game that's around a number pad now. Okay, so let us, in edit mode, okay. We're going to take that, we're going to group that, and we are going to save as new creation, contraption, what, working keypad? That is a strange thing to publish. And just because we got into the fucking centrifuge, it's like, fuck it, why not? I have no idea why a centrifuge needs so many buttons, is the honest truth. We have probably added so much to the... hold on, what is our thermometer actually at? Because we just added a whole bunch of superfluous crap. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm curious if I... Ooh. Okay, if you delete the whole thing, turns out... Okay, come on. Clear. No. No. There we go. Okay, so that keypad is fucking expensive. And we should probably, like, tweak the keypad to make it less expensive, but fuck it. That is chunky. Okay, 7%. Why is that so much? I'm curious. What have they been doing? Oh my god. They meant to mirror, and then they didn't mirror. And then they've done that. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie me. I mean... should we see if we can... Okay, so, that is a tough one. Precise number input. Yeah. Yeah, keyframes can change just about everything. Learn to game, people's creations, scenes so inspiring, setting microwave over time. I've just attached one. Clone with R3. Yeah. Hi, you're just making haunted by poor optimizations. I am. These buttons, they're a single thing. The reason they need to be a single thing though is because they're getting depressed and because they're selectable. That's why they have to be a single thing. But I mean, in all honesty, one of the things we should probably just do is go sculpture detail. Yeah, they're probably way too detailed. So what this actually does, and you remember you can always undo it later, is it just like removes effectively like some bitmaps, and really there's barely any difference that we notice there. It is cheaper to subtract. I'm about to make a brick wall, decide how to make the bricks. Okay, I will give you some tips in just a sec. Honestly, I think that's kind of done. I don't feel like we want to save this thing. Oh, fuck it, we're going to save this thing with a working keypad. Because why the fuck not? Wait, I'm editing working keypad? I thought I was editing... Hold on. Edit source. Save. Sorry, I'm now somewhat lost. Okay. Working keypad should just be that. Yeah, that is all working keypad needs to be. And while we're in here, let's just check that. What was our tools? Freeze, so I don't pollute the... Okay, no, that's good. 1%. I can live with 1%. Cool. I can live with 1%. Okay, save a version. We're going to publish that as public. Yes. Cool. Keypad is published. Let's go return to previous creation. Okay, honestly, this one that we're editing now can be I'm just gonna call it that because it's kind of a junk creation. Whatevs. Oh, we definitely need to like that centrifuge. We did good work with that centrifuge. Yeah, there are less useful vices. It's cheaper to subtract. Yeah, that's what I was about to help you. Right. Right, with brick walls, I mean, first of all, it's worth checking on the Dreamiverse because there is some fantastic... there's some fantastic brickwork. Beta symbol brick version. Okay. So, like, learn from other people, right? So there's this really cartoony looking one. Just checking it out. I'm not certain that I get that this is the style they're going for. How are they doing with the thermometer on this? 3% for just this. I mean, if they... I'm curious. If they break out... Because they've got a very certain style here, so I don't know if they can get away with... Hold on, have they done... Oh, good. Right, so that is that sculpt cloned. Okay, cool. Those are sharing sculpt data. What's the thermometer at now? 2%. 2% is probably acceptable considering, like, once you actually group this up and you clone it. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Hold on. If we shove on grid mode, I'm curious if it aligns. Set grid origin. It does not want to set grid origin on that. That is annoying. Okay, but I'm curious if I do... it's not been built to the grid. So that's one thing, is if you're building a brick wall, make sure you build to the grid, because otherwise it's not going to be tileable. So if we align that to grid... No, Damn, that is just outright annoying. There's no two ways about that. Okay, exit. Don't save. It's a nice creation. It's just the align to grid is not great. Brick wall rune. I like it. I could definitely see Dreams would be used that in. Like, so this is one of the things, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. If there is a brick wall you can use, even if it's not perfect, but you can start there and you can hack on it. That's a better place to go. Ooh, it's so cool you can upload simple objects like that for other people's creations. Yeah, no. Other people, like, if you do those sort of simple things, then other people can use them. And as I say, if it's not perfect, you can always tweak it just for what you need. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like, it doesn't have to be the thing you need, ideally. It can be, ooh, that is pretty. That is a nice, got the effect with the fire. The brickwork on that is stunning. I'm deadly curious about, first of all, strong like on that. And if we remix it, only 4% graphics, 9% gameplay. Huh. I'm curious what they... Oh, can we not get the old, more detailed thermometer up? Okay, guides. If I go to X-ray mode, can I'm trying to think what they would have spent the gameplay budget on. Yeah, it's an impressive thermometer, but I'm just trying to think what the gameplay budget's been burnt on. Show the thermometer. So if we delete the smoke, okay, so that 9% gameplay budget, none of it's from the fire, right? No, none of it's from the fire. How much of it's from the... None of it's from the smoke. Oh, it's because they've done... It's because their thing count is ridiculously high. Because they've cloned all of these. Okay, top tip. Do you know how you could do this much more cheaply? Kaleidoscope. So what you would do is, for that kind of thing, I'm just going to copy this over here, take it out. Okay, there. You go into guides, you go kaleidoscope, and you make your brick shape if you want like the round thing that they've got. You do that. You might need to do like align to grid to get the look you want. And then yeah, you up that, because the thing with the kaleidoscope is if you know sign distance fields and like how this hold on, let's just align this right. I'm just align that to the grid, right? If you know how sign distance fields work, and kaleidoscopes are basically, they work really well in math. Like the math for sign distance fields really likes kaleidoscopes. So you can do something like this, and then you can edit this just slightly. Can I get out of here without... I think I kind of need to... I don't want to turn off grid mode. Okay, so I can do that. and then I can go into here, then I can turn off grid mode, and I can just gently adjust this. Yeah, okay, and so then you get that yeah, cool. And so now with that thing there, and as I say, you can tweak it and you can build it slightly differently. But for instance, for the thing they've built with these grey stones on the outside here, that is, with Kaleidoscope, is much cheaper, because at like a low-level math thing, when we're testing against the sculpt, there's like a multiply function in there, and it's really cheap. Whereas every time you cloning is really, really cheap, but every time you clone like they've done, every one of these things has like a small header and a small bit of information for each one of these, and that's like a thing count thing. So yeah, like if you do lots of cloning like this, cloning is generally cheaper, but lots of cloning like this is why they have the thermometer of 9% gameplay, is their thing count is just really high, because each of these individual bricks is an individual brick, whereas they could have done that with a Kaleidoscope. I mean, Kaleidoscope is one of the really cheap things. It's like how duplicating strokes, oh there we go, there's another place they could gain, is here they could have gone with some stroke duplication. So you see how they've got this fire? At the moment they've got one really big complex stroke. They probably could have gone for a simpler stroke, and then just done inside sphere, you know, like, because that is super cheap. Like, it's not for free, but this stuff is really cheap. It's why, like, in sign distance field engines, you see lots of fractal stuff. As I say, nothing's free, but that's very cheap. Yeah, they've done a really nice job on that fire. That fire's really top-notch. Overall, this as a whole piece, I'm really impressed. They've got good stroke choice. Like, this whole oven piece is just so nice. I am a big fan, don't save. I'm a big fan of the brick oven. I'm curious actually, before we go, because it's almost midnight and I'm going to look at wrapping up. Anyway. Astonishing weaponry. Oh my word. Oh, this is just gorgeous. They've got an iron broadsword, an iron war axe, iron greatsword. This kind of stuff. Rusted. Oh. It's just, and it's got no likes. Absolutely no likes. It's such a shame. That is top quality. Bone blade. They've got some really nice pieces here. Yeah, that 22%, I guarantee you that 22% is because they've made the same mistake. Remix. Yeah, they've done the same mistake there, where they've copied that a ton. Like, at some, like, in some cases, I mean, generally we say, yeah, cloning is cheap, but in this case, I would actually, especially because they've reused that in a bunch of places, I would have potentially just done that as a single sculpt and cloned it around. But yeah, that's why they've got these individual bits. But it's a balancing act. It's always a balancing act. Yeah. Oh well. Have they done the same with the planks? Please don't. Oh, they've done the same with the planks. Oh. I mean, they've got a stunning look, and they've made some really nice stuff, and I really like their stuff. But that's why they've got such a, looking on their creations, that's why you're seeing such a high gameplay thermometer. Yeah. Yeah, because like this castle wall doorway, they're gonna have done it on all their stuff, aren't they? I mean, if it works for them and they make stuff, that's great. It's better to make stuff in a way you can make it than to be hung up on shit. Really though, Dino Burgers, fucking top-notch creator. Just churning out really good stuff. What's their earliest stuff? I'm curious. God, even their earliest stuff. Royal Crown. Dice. Oh, man. That's really, really solid. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It's midnight. I need to look at wrapping this up. Let us see if anyone is streaming some Dreams, preferably Dreams Creation. Rather than playing. Virtually is playing around with his PCG, but we did host him yesterday. Let's see if we can throw the spotlight on someone else. Sweet Dreams are made of this. Does look like they are in create mode. Wraith, I just saw you there. Bye bye. Take care. Yes, I need to get some sleep. I do need to get some sleep. Okay, let's go give her or them, I don't know, a big hello. And yeah, hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves.